Hi, everybody. Okay, so I am working from home this evening. I didn't stay at school. And so here is what we were doing. Tonight, we're not doing evens. We did that last night. Tonight, we're doing the odd numbers. Okay. I'm going to work on the graph because I have my little setup here so that we can see the graph paper. I'm kind of moving this up a bit. All right, so the first problem that I have, and I'm going to transfer this over to graph. I have 4. It's going to go into 4 and 24 hundredths. I'm going to bring up my decimal. Now it looks like I have a whole number, right? Remember that I will divide, then multiply, then subtract. The next would be check. And if everything is fine, I will bring down and then I start all over again. So it's does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? I guess we can do it that way. All right, so let's get started. I have 4 holes. I need to see how many of those holes will go into those 4 groups. And so it's going to be 1. 1 times 4 equals 4. Subtract that out. So I divide it, multiply, subtract. And this is 0. 0 is less than my divisor. And so I bring this down. But look at this. 2 is still less than my divisor, right? So I'm going to put 2 over this because 4 cannot go into 2. So next I'm going to bring down my 4. And now how many groups of 4 can go into 24? It will be 6 because 6 times 4 equals 24. If you are not a sharpshooter on your multiplications, it's super, super important that you start working on that now. So here my answer is going to be 1 and 6 hundredths. Okay, we're going to look at number 3, which is 9. It's 201 and 6 tenths divided by 9. So I'm going to bring this down here. So I have 9 goes into 201, my decimal point 6. Remember, every number is in its box so that it's easier to see your place values. 9 cannot go into 2, so I put a 0, but 9 can go into 20, and it can go up to 2 times as much. I'm going to put my multiplication, so I just divided, now I'm multiplying. 2 times 9 equals 18, and I'm subtracting that out. 18 is 2 away from 20, so I bring down my 2. My 2 is less than 9, so I'm good. That's my check. I'm going to now bring down my 1. Again, 9 goes into 21. I can only get up to 2 groups of 9. 2 times 9 is 18, and I can continue to subtract. 18, and how far away am I away from 21? So it's 18, 19, 20, 21, so it's 3. Am I less than my divisor? Yes, I am. And so now I can bring down my 6. 9 goes into 36, or 36 can be evenly distributed into 9 groups by having 4 in each group. 9 times 4 equals 36. And then I'm left with 0. Look, what I forgot to do is to bring up my decimal. And so my answer is 22 and 4 tenths. Okay, let's look at the next one, problem number 7. I'm going to kind of scoot my little camera down a bit. There we go. So this is number 3. I'm so sorry, it's number 7. And I can't put 2 here because this was actually 3 because we're doing odd numbers tonight. So I have 3 and now I'm at 5. Sorry for the confusion. All right, so my equation is 7 that goes into 117 and 6 tenths. 7 cannot go into 1, but it can go into 11. In how many groups? It's only going to be one group. If I have two groups, it's 14, so that's too big. So now 1 times 7 equals 7, and I'm going to subtract that out. I am, how many away am I from 11? So 7, and then 8, 9, 10, 11. So you can count up if that helps you. I can see that little wire from my camera. No, timber. I didn't want to have that happen. Okay. We're all good to go. Life is still good and we're rocking. Yeah, you can see what I'm using for my stand, right? Okay. All right, so I'm ready to rock and roll it again. Okay, so it's 3 is 10, 4 would be 11. Now I'm checking it. I have to divide, multiply, I subtracted. Now I'm checking. Is 4 less than my divisor? Yes, it is. So now I can bring down, and it's 47. Well, I know 7 times 7 is 49. That's too big. So I can actually put 6. I'm going to bring up my decimals, which I should have done in the very first place, but I didn't. But I'm bringing it up now. 6 times 7 equals 42. I subtract that out. 42 is 5 away from 47. I'm checking to see if my difference is less than my divisor, and I see it is. So I'm going to bring down my 6. 7 goes into 56 8 times. So each group will get 8 in those 7 groups. And so 8 times 7 equals 56. So my answer is 16 and 8/10. Let's look at number 7. On that 7, it's kind of blurry on that one. I'm just going to be writing it over here. I'm going to kind of move my stand over a bit. I need to write it this way. Okay, so this is going to be for 7. And this is 6 goes into 3 and 66 hundredths. I'm going to bring up my decimal. I know that 6 cannot go into 3. It has to be 6 or larger, so it's 0. But I have 36, right? So 6 can go into 36 how many times? Well, 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36, so it's going to go 6 times. So this is 36. Bring down my 0. Is this less than my divisor? Yes, it is. So now I'm going to bring down my 6. 6 goes into 6 one time because 1 times 6 equals 6. I subtract out and it's 0. So my answer is 6100. So I'm going to place that over here for number 7. And I said, what was it? 61 hundredths. Number 9. Let's take a look at that one. 6 goes into, and it has the dollar sign. I can place that right in the corner, or I can eliminate it. I don't have to have it. I just know that there's going to be money in my answer. So it's $2.52. I'm going to split this into 6 different groups. So I'm going to place my decimal in my quotient. 6 cannot go into 2, putting a 0, but it can get close to 25 without going over 4 times. So 4 can go into those 6 groups because 4 times 6 equals 24. And now I'm going to subtract that out. 5 minus 4 equals 1. Now I know that this is, my difference is less than my divisor, so I can bring down my 2 now. 6 can go into 12 twice, so it'll be 2 in each group because 2 times 6 equals 12. And then I subtract that out and it's 0. So the answer on that one is going to be 42 cents. I have to put that 0. It's a 0 into underneath it dollar sign. Let's look at number 11. we have 84 and 8/10 divided by something is going to equal 10 and 6/10. So I'm going to rewrite it over here. So this next one, I'm going to write that problem I said right over here. I'm going to put 11. And this one is, I know what my dividend is, right? And then it has divided by something. And there's a couple of ways that you can do it. And then it's 10. I have to move my camera over, and 6/10. Okay. All right. So one way of solving this is I'm still missing a part, right? I'm going to kind of scoot this up a bit. I'm missing a part. But because I'm missing a part, I can divide this out where it'd be like 106 divided by or 8. I can have this one. This is the take my quotient, and that now becomes my divisor, and then I have to find that because it's a part. So I can divide that out. 84 and 8/10 divided by 10 and 6/10, and then simply move my decimals to whole numbers. I have 848 divided by 106, and then put the decimals back. That's one way of doing it. Remember, this is telling me how many groups, right? Or how many, or if I had how many in each group. So you can do repeated addition until you get to the 84 and 8/10, and that's another way of doing it. So you can divide this out the other way, and I'll show you, or you can simply do repeated addition. 10 and 6/10, and you can ballpark it. So you can do 10 and 6/10 times 5, and then increase or decrease your factors to see if that works out. So here I'm going to go ahead and do repeated addition just so that you can count the number of groups. This is the longer way of doing it. So once you get the habit of looking at it differently, I think it'll be a lot easier. So 6 plus 6 equals 12. I'm going to regroup my 1, bring down my decimal. 1 plus 0 is 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is one group, two groups. That's the same as multiplying it out, right? Then I'm going to add another group of 10 and 6/10. Bring down my decimal. 6, 7, 8, 1, and 31 and 8/10. I'm going to add in another group, and I hope you're able to see what I'm doing. 6 plus 8 equals 14. 1, 2, and then 3, 4. And remember, we're getting to 84.8 or 84 and 8/10. And I'm already at 42.4. You see what you're halfway there? Do you see that? If you were to double this up, 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. So if this is already 1, 2, 3, 4, if you're doubling it up, how many groups would it be? Yeah, it's going to be 8. Very good. I'm going to go ahead and do that just in case you haven't quite seen that yet. And I'm just going to continue adding another group of 10 and 6/10. If you've gotten it, then you know that you can just continue adding 42 and 4/10, and you're done, and it's 8 groups. If not, let's keep going. 6 plus 4 equals 10. Regroup. 2 plus 1 is 3. 4 plus 1 is 5. I'm going to add another group. 10 and 6/10. This is 6. Bring down my decimal. 3 and 5 plus 1 equals 4. That's 43.60. Oh, no. What did I do wrong? There we go. 63.60. I knew there was something wrong. I decreased and not increased. So I'm going to bring my 63.60 here. I'm going to just double check. 6356. Yes. And I'm going to add another group of 10 and 6/10. So this is 12, 3, 4. Bring down my decimal. 6, 7. Almost there. So that's 4 groups. This is 5 groups. This is 6 groups. This is 7 groups. Then I add another group of 10 and 6/10. Or put the 0. So 0, 6, 7, 8. Bring down my decimal. That's 4 and 84. So I have 8 groups. So then my divisor is 8. And I believe one of the students in class, it was the student and Miss Workman, he was able to figure that out. So good job that this is the divisor. Good work. All right, let's look at this sentence here. Abby and her 7 friends had lunch at the neighborhood burger barn. Oh, yeah. The bill was $47.60. They shared the cost of the lunch equally. So look at these keywords. Shared equally. So how much did each person pay? So there's Abby and then her 7 friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So how many total people are there? And if you get this confused, remember it's Abby and it's plus. So if you get this part confused, remember you can draw pictures. Nothing stops you from drawing it. So this is 7, and so there's 8, a total of 8 people. So my equation then is going to be $47.60 divided by 8 because they shared them equally. So out of this one, who had to pay? Each of them paid how much? And that's what we're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and place this. I'm going to flip my paper over. Actually, I'm just going to move this over and have it on 2 separate sheets because I brought some graph paper home. Remember, there's plenty of graph paper that I made copies, so please get those to work on your math problems, please. Which way am I going? I think I need to place this way so that you can see it. I need to put it on. Okay, much better. All right. So for problem number 13, I have $47.60. And this is divided by 8. Bring up my decimal. 8 cannot go into 4, but it can go into 47. And I need to see how many groups of this 8 can get close to 47 without going over. So I know that 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48, or 6 times 8. I always say 6 times 8 is 48 because it rhymes, right? So I always do that. So it's 48. Well, that's too big. So I'm going to have to go with my 5. 5 times 8 equals 40. And I'm going to have 7 left over and bring down my 6. And 7 I can bring down because look at this. This is still smaller than my divisor. So now I'm at 76. Okay, so now I'm going to keep thinking of my multiples of 8. So 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 9 is 72. Oops, very good. 8 times 10 is 80. That doesn't work. But so I can go with the 9, and that's 72. And subtract that out, and I'm 4 away from the 76. And I can bring down my 0. And I did my check. I can already see that 4 is less than my divisor, and that's why I brought down this. Now I'm going to start all over. 8 can go into 45 times. 5 times 8 equals 40. And now it's 0. So each person shared it with paid $5.95. That's actually a pretty good deal for lunch. So that's each. And that's how much each person paid. Excellent. All right, let's move over to the next one. We had 15. Okay, so we have an artist that uses 49. Oh, y'all can't read it that way. Okay, so it's an artist that uses 49 4/10 centimeters of decorated molding to make a square. Oops, there we go. A square picture frame. What do we know about a square? Very good. All sides are equal. So whatever 1 is, we know it's all. How long is each side of the frame? So this is what we're looking for, right? I know that once I've done the perimeter, so the total perimeter is 49 and 4/10 centimeters. And I know that a square has 4 equal sides, so I'm going to divide that by 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and place that on here. So remember, you need to bring in that geometry part that we have learned, or you have learned in 4th grade, and you're bringing it back into 5th before we even cover that again. So these are key things you have to remember. Remember, we're learning to know, not to get by. So it's at 49 and 4/10. Oh, this looks like it's pretty easy peasy. 4 can go into 4 one time. 1 times 4 equals 4. I subtract that out. It's 0. It's less than my divisor. Bring this down to a 9. 4 goes into 9 2 times. 2 times 4 equals 8. Subtract that out. It's 1. 1 is less than my divisor. I'm going to bring up my decimal because I forgot to do it in the very beginning. Bring down the 4. 4 goes into 14. How many times? How close can I get? Well, if I do it 3, that's 12, right? 4 times 3 is 12. If I do 4, 4 times 4 is 16. I can only do 3. 3 times 4 equals 12. That's 2. Now look, I have 2/10, right? So I can turn that 2/10 into hundreds by adding a 0. And I'm going to bring that all the way down. Now 4 goes into 25 times. And now it's 0. So my answer is going to be A. Oops, you can't say it that way, can you? Answer is A, 12 and 3,500 centimeters. So that's how much each side is. Pretty cool. All right, let's go to number 17. Jeremy saves $2.75 each week. Oh, cool. Now, how many weeks will it take him to save enough money to buy a model kit that costs $13.75? Guys, I'm sure you do that. If you're getting an allowance or you're wanting to save up money and you're getting paid a certain amount every week, how much will you need to save up to get whatever that you're wanting to get, right? I'm going to go ahead and bring this up here for 17. That way I have some room. Okay, so the total cost of that kit, I'm going to move this over just a bit, is $13.75. And he's saving, and we're looking at how many, we have several. So look at our answer choices. How could we do this problem? What is one way we can do it? This is a total price, right? I'm back with that wire again, right in the middle of everything. Okay, there we go. And I can easily, and so this is 1 week is $2.75. This is week 1. Week 2 is $2.75. So how much is it total so far? 5 plus 5 is 10. 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15. I'm going to bring down my decimal, 245. Okay, so what happens for the next weeks? I'm going to add another for week 3, because we're trying to find out how many weeks it's going to take him. I'm going to add this in. That's 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Regroup, 5, 6, 7, 8. $8.25 for week 3. Well, I'm not quite there yet because I need $13.75. So it's not, I'm going to cross out my 3 weeks here because that's not 3 weeks. So I'm going to keep going. And yes, you could have multiplied. You could have done that was another way of doing it to get to 1375. And I'll show you a different way. Now we're going to add in another $2.75. This is for week 4. Move my stand over. 5 plus 5 is 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring down my decimal, regroup my 1. 8, 9, 10, 11. Not quite there yet. So I'm going to add another week. It's going to be week 5. So now I can already take off my week 4. That doesn't work. So that's not going to work. I'm going to add another $2.75. Do you see how much easier it is to work your problems out on the graph paper? So now I have 5. Oh, look at this. And I have my 7. See, I already have my 75 and my 75. That's 2, 3, and 2, 3, and then bring down my 1, and it's $13.75. So it's going to take them 5 weeks to earn that. Okay, so that's actually like the easiest way if you're counting out your weeks. You can divide this out. You're going to have to move your decimals. So it's going to be that 4 digits divided by 3 digits. So it'd be a little bit more lengthy. Or you can take your $2.75 that you're saving each week and multiply it by your answer choices. Let's look at number 19. Sam's van travels 208. Make sure I'm still going. 208 and 8/10 miles on 9 gallons of gas. Good gas mileage? Not so good. I think it's pretty good, right? Hanson's small car travels 234 and 4/10 miles on 8 gallons of gas. What is the difference between the vehicles and the gallons of gas consumption per mile? All right, so let's do some division. Here's Sam. He has 208 and 8/10 miles on 9 gallons. So I'm needing to find out how many gallons that is per mile. So this is what I'm going to do. The first one. This is Sam. So I'm going to do it on my paper so we can see it. Then I have Hanson's. And here so he has a small car and then this is a van. So he is able to travel. This is on 8 gallons, 234 and 4/10. He can actually travel a lot further, right? Wow. So now we're needing to find the difference. So let's come over here to my paper. So let's look at 19. So this is, again, this is the van, Sam's van. Here I have 9. It's going into 208 and 8/10. 9 cannot go into 2, but it can go into 20. How many times? 2, right? Because 2 times 9 is 18. That's as close as I can get. Another way of thinking of it, if I have 20 and it's got to go into 9 groups, well, only 2 in each group. And so that leaves me with 2 left over. Another way of thinking about it. My difference is less than my divisor. So now I'm going to bring down my 8. 9 can go into 28. How many times? Well, 9 times 2, 9 times 3 is 27. So I think that's going to be the closest that I can do. Subtract that out, leaves me with a 1. Bring down my 8. 9 goes into 18 twice. I'm going to bring up my decimal because I forgot to do that. Sorry, guys. All right. So here for the van, it's at 23 and 2/10 per gallon. But look at here. Can it be B? No, because this one is the Sam's van. We're not even taking the difference. So it can't be this one. So I'm going to cross that out. All right, now let's go ahead and do Hanson's car. He has a small car, right? I just need room to write. This is going to be Hanson's small car. All right, now I'm going to divide this out. 8, and I'm going to try to squeeze this in. 234 and 4/10. 8 cannot go into 2, but it can go into 23. How close can I get? 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. Oops, too big. So it's going to be 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract that out. How far am I away from 23? Well, if I have 4 more, that's 20 and left 3 left over, so it makes it 7. 7 is still less than my divisor, so I'm good. Bring down my 4. Now I'm at 74. Well, I said that 9 times 8 is 72. So putting up my 9, I'm going to bring up my decimal. This is at 72. And I'm going to subtract that out. It's 2. Bring down my 4. 8 times 3 is 24. So it's 29 and 3/10 miles per gallon. That's how many miles he travels per gallon. So let's look over here. Well, it's not A because this is the small car, right? So this is not Hanson, but Hanson small car. Hanson small car. I just realized I was putting the N in the wrong place. So that's not possible. Now I need to take the difference of that, right? So let's take the 29 because it's my largest number and that goes on top always, always when I'm subtracting. And I'm going to take that from 23 and 2/10. Let me move this over just a tad so that you can see it. 3 minus 2 equals 1. 9 minus 3 equals 6. So the difference is 6 and 1/10 miles per gallon. So the answer is D. All right, guys, I hope this helped out. Tomorrow we're going to go over with this. I'm going to work with some kids on division while others start working on their stations. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay warm and dress warm. Don't forget your jackets because it's going to be chilly tomorrow. Take care. Bye.